Oh my God, is that the Faces of the Future? Welcome to an all new episode of the Faces of the Future podcast. It's your boy Myles. I'm sitting in the compound. I got Poiison in the building today. How you doing today?
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Happy to be here.
Appreciate you pulling up. I mean, how have you been?
I've been all right, man. I can't complain. Blessed.
Yeah. It's your first time to Philly or you been up here before?
Nah, man, come on.
Nah? You be frequent or what?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So before we jump into what you've been up to lately, I want to get a little background information about, like, you're from Queens, right? So,
Yes, sir.
So tell me what it was like growing up there. Like, what was the atmosphere like? What were you doing? What was young Poiison doing as she was coming up?
For sure. I mean, the advantage of Queens is I get a little bit of everything. So I get a little bit of the suburban, the grass, the houses.
Yeah.
And, you still get to see that Gotham, New York. It's still gritty.
Yeah. Is Queens the best borough?
Come on, man. You know it.
Yeah. So you were running around. I know music is a big thing now, but like, was that always like an integral part of your life growing up, or is it something you kind of like fell into from like influences, things of that nature?
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, I grew up in church, so I always had a music room at home.
Yeah.
Always had a room with my sister's a professional drummer, so we always had a drum set, piano, keyboards, guitars. Yeah.
Now that's good. So like growing up in the church, we talk about it all the time on the pod, like how like church and things of that nature influences like quality music. Would you say that's like a testament to that?
Of course, I feel like I'm A1.
Yeah. Were you somebody else in the church that was like you were performing as a young kid in the gospel choir, all that type of stuff? Or you was just kind of in the pews, chilling, just vibing out to the music?
I did a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to as you're growing up, Queens has a rich history of music. So as you were coming up, like who from your borough was like kind of like your influences coming up when it comes to like your music or just like your taste, your style? You got swag. So like,
of course, appreciate you. You too. Of course, 50. Of course, Nicki Minaj. Mobb Deep. Of course, Queens is full of dope musicians. So
yeah. Were they the ones that kind of inspired you? Because I was looking back on an interview that you had. It was maybe 2 years ago. You said Kevin Gates was someone that really influenced you. So was Kevin Gates in the fold when you was a youngin', or was it like, all right, I'm influenced by all these New York sounds, and then like Kevin Gates come around later? Like, what was that like?
I'm going to be quite honest with you. Of course, I was influenced by New York because I'm in New York, so I'm subconsciously taking that in regardless. It's in my environment, but I feel like I did get inspired by outside sources. I'm quite the traveler, like, I'm going to go the long haul. So, yeah, Kevin Gates is definitely one of my inspirations. I feel like he's just one of those artists that didn't really have a box and a place where to sit and created his own, and I like that. I took a liking to that.
Do you feel like that era, that genre of music, like when Kevin Gates was coming up, is a little more, I guess, like artistic, more like people put more like thought into the music as opposed to today, like the landscape coming up? Because like when I listen to your music, I was listening to some of your older music, some of your new music, like you have a lot of different sounds in there. You feel me? As opposed to not really cookie cutter, like you hear nowadays with the artists that are coming, like maybe like on TikTok, on Instagram, that type of thing.
For sure. I feel like I haven't even really thought about it. I'm just doing what I do and what I feel. I'm just speaking from the heart.
Right.
People are doing what they do. Back then they were just being raw. Some people are still being raw. I can't really speak on that.
Yeah, for sure. Like how hard is it not to get caught up in, I guess, like I call it the algorithm, the industry. You know, when people try to like, oh, if you got to make it, you got to put music out this way and do the dances, do whatever. How is it for you not falling into that trap?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I'm in the mix, so it's like, they try to throw that at me and you got to dodge and weave it. Sometimes you got to kind of like find your fine line between it because it is a business. We're in the business as well, I kind of just mind my business, stay in my lane. There's no traffic in it. I'm cool with that.
Now, definitely. So let's take a little bit further. You growing up, you say you grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Music was an integral part in your lifestyle. When was the first time, I guess, you stepped into a studio to really make your first record?
I feel like in my house I had a studio, so
Really?
I wouldn't really count that.
Okay.
I would count maybe when I was like in high school or something. My mom I told her I wanted to go to the studio. She paid for me to go to the studio. It's probably the most horrible song I've ever done.
I was about to say, was you nice? Was you nice when you first started? It's like, all right, I gotta figure this shit out.
Man, it was okay. It was okay.
That's funny.
But my mom was rooting, so shout out to my mom.
I was rooting. I mean, so you said she was rooting for you, but she was like, baby, come on, you gotta do better. We gotta get you back in there again and again. Or was it like you said she was a cheerleader, so it was like so was it good? She was an integral part in like you coming up and making the music and chasing your dreams?
I can't lie. I'm very blessed to have somebody supportive like that because, I hear stories, where we come from. They always want us to go a certain route, and my mom always supported me.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, because you do hear a lot of stories of people don't have that support. So having that great support system definitely probably pushed you to where you are today. So like after you made that first record, right? And you said it wasn't that good. Like, what outside of your mom, what motivated you to continue to go? Because, you know, New York City, you know, that's a historic spot for music, hip hop, all that type of stuff. And if people telling you shit corny, you probably get frustrated. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta be careful with you because you're doing that Queens thing. You gotta slow down for me to catch up. You
know
talk real fast. I'm good though. I'm good though. Now, but bring that question back. You saying
so coming up in New York, coming up in Queens, it's a very historic city for music. So
Sure.
when you're coming up and you drop that first record, and it's like, or you make that first record, and I guess it's not the best thing possible. I'm sure you heard from. You probably got outside noise saying, that's not the best. You might as well pick up, do something else. Like, what kept you motivated outside of just your family, your parents?
Not for sure. I feel like I'm kind of like spirit walking right now in my life. Like I'm kind of moving from a different place, a different frequency. I'm a girl that's on a mission. Yeah. You know, it's more than just music for me.
Okay.
And when you feel that, you know, you're in tune and you're more in tune with yourself. You know, you speak to yourself and God guides you, the universe guides you, and kind of like it's already written. Like it doesn't even matter to me. Like I know what I'm doing. I'm continuing, and that's just where I'm at with it.
Tell me a little about that spiritual journey. I mean, you mentioned church obviously, but like growing up as an adult, like, the world pulls you in all these different types of ways. So was it something you had to come back around to, or was it something you stayed on your path?
Definitely. I feel like that's also a part of my story too. You know, you got to get lost to find your way sometimes.
I like that. Where'd you get lost at though?
Man, I feel like the music, if you did hear, you know, some of the older music, you know, like a record like Pills for the Pain. You know, like just got lost in the getting money and the turning up and the partying, and he just getting lost in that whirlwind. And, you know, sometimes you got to kind of die to resurrect. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. So you're going through that journey. You get lost in the sauce. You find your spiritual journey. All right. So when does that first, I guess, record come out that you create that you know, like, all right, I got something here. And people are telling you, all right, you might be one of them ones that's coming up.
Had to have been Pills for the Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one resonated a lot with people? Was that because of just like the story behind it, or what?
It just resonated with people. It just went crazy. It just resonated. People were writing me, telling me I'm saving their life and keeping them from all sorts of, you know, depression and things like that. And I was like, damn, you know, this is fulfilling and I'm good at it. And it was so organic. It was effortless, you know, when I did that. So
how does it feel to know that, I guess, you're touching people in that way? Because I mean, I've been in a dark place too before where it's like, all right, people, you feel like the world could like feel like it's closing on you, and you feel like people maybe don't understand like what you're going through at that point in time. But when you put out a record like that shows your emotion, shows your vulnerability, and then you get that response, like internally, how did that make you feel as a person, as an artist in general?
I mean, it's fulfilling, you know. It makes all the, you know, it makes the trenches, it makes the ups and downs, it makes the losses, and it makes it worth it.
Yeah,
definitely. It makes it's fulfilling. It's worth it. That feels great.
Yeah. So Pills for the Pain, that came out. Did a project come after that, or you just kept dropping singles?
I dropped a project after that.
So what was the strategy behind that? Was like something like, all right, you know, people are messing with your music, I just want to give them a full project, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I was outside hanging out with some guys who were like going viral on SoundCloud, and then I was doing their shows, and then I'm like, let me just drop a project. I was doing their features, and then there was just a lot of nice, fun numbers, and it was just kind of like spreading like organically. So.
Definitely was the feature track kind of hard to get, because you know how it is in the music industry. People be like, oh, I'll give you this. You'll come to the studio. I'll cut you a record, and they never do it.
No. They came after me. It was organic. That was cool.
That's good. All right. So that project came out. Were you getting a lot of buzz like in your neighborhood at that time, or was it? It was like I'm still trying to break through. I guess not just in Queens, but in New York City in general.
Not for sure. I feel like I've always been like, you know, a neighborhood star. You know, just always been good in my hood, I guess.
Did that make you like head big when you were coming up? You say you're a neighborhood star, like people gassing you up, saying you this, you that.
No. I you know, I'm a Capricorn, so my foot on the ground. Like, you know, I knew if I wanted to make it a business, if I wanted to keep growing, there was a lot of more work to do.
Yeah. What does that work entail though? Because people say like there's a lot of work to do, but they don't know the work or effort or grind it takes to do what you got to do. So what does that work entail for people that are listening?
I mean, if I think about it now, where I'm at now, and you know, there's so many moving pieces, you know, like, you know, what are we doing this for? You know, we wanna buy land, and we wanna grow our own food, and we wanna be able to have that freedom to not clock in and just be able to take care of the people that you're working with. You feel me? That's how you become a real boss. If that's the goal, then now you gotta take it seriously, and you gotta, you know, figure out a way for how I'm gonna feed me and my people with this art. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you gotta put your thinking cap on, and you know, now it's gotta make sense. Now you gotta go, you know, work with this sponsorship deal, but how I'm gonna get sponsored? What's gonna make them pick me? You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot of moving pieces. You know, it just is.
Yeah, you got a solid team around you. Like you came in with a squad like that. It shows that everybody has a part in what you got going on. How long did it take for you to get to that point?
I mean, you know, honestly, is back to that spirit walking. When you walking in a certain path, you know, God is gonna throw you, you know, the pieces to make this puzzle together. You feel me? It's just different geniuses in their own lane. They're amazing at what they do, and we coming together because we all have a vision and we all have a purpose, and it aligns together. You know, whether we locked in forever or we just in and out, you know, it's just a part of the story.
No, definitely. You all are very good at what you do, obviously. So I bet like there's those conversations when it comes to like strategy or like how you market yourself or things of that nature. Like, what are those conversations like when you guys, I guess I call it the boardroom. When you in the boardroom, you like, all right, we got to hit this station. Maybe we don't want to do this. We got to do this sponsorship like you talking to. Maybe this doesn't fit the brand. Like, how does that go about?
Nah, for sure. I mean, look how we here. You feel me? Like
Right.
we got to stop in Philly. We got to come check him. Like, this is one of the guys that know what's going on. This is a part of, you know, we sit down, we have conversations, we have debates, we say no to a lot of things, and we say yes to the things that fit right. You know, it takes a village to make it go. So
Right.
I don't know all the answers. We got to come together and we got to chop it up. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that for sure. Because a lot of artists, like when that come through here, whatever it may be, like they just think they know it all or whatever it is. But like hearing you say that's refreshing.
Nah, come on, man. Like, you know, you look like somebody that reads. I can read the room. Like anybody that thinks they know everything knows nothing at all. I want to grow, so I'm gonna listen to my guys, my girls, and you know, we gonna make it lit.
Nah, definitely. So, like I said, we're moving along in your story and journey. When it comes to your creative process, what is that like when it comes to making the music? What's your sessions like? How do you start when you're writing? How does that process go?
For sure. It's kind of interesting because I sometimes I record backwards. Like I don't really start at the verse. I might start at the second verse and then might start at the hook. I don't like a lot of people in the studio with me because I don't want to really think about what I'm doing. That's how it comes organically and just raw, you know, when I'm not really thinking about anything. And you know, I start with my melodies and then I start building from there, like, you know, Legos.
Yeah, when you say you don't like people around you, it's like, do you have like an in-home studio that you record at where it's like, I'm going to record here and then I'm going to take it to the bigger studio, get a mix, mastered, or whoever I'm working with?
I mean, yeah, you know, I have my 2-3 studios that I go to, and then, you know, if we want to get a mix and master, like, we'll bring it to another spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Type of vibe.
And a real question I want to ask you, because like your music, I like your music a lot. Like,
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to.
Oh, 100%, no problem. When it comes to that, like, how's it been as a woman trying to navigate not just the music space but the hip hop space? You're talented when it comes to not just like the melodies you write, but like the bars that you spit, all that type of stuff. Like, what's it been like for you trying to navigate like people to get people to take you for who you are as a talented artist?
No, for sure. Luckily, I'm coming up in a good space, a good era. Like, you know, it's very woman empowered.
For
you know,
sure.
I can't really complain right now at the moment. You know, I have a lot of work to do. You know, the journey has just begun. But, you know, I feel limitless. I feel received. And, you know, sometimes you might have to take a second listen to really figure out, like, wow, this girl really got something. But, you know, I always love when they realize that second listen. I'm okay. I'm doing okay.
No, that's good. That's good.
I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling powerful.
That's great. Has there been ever in a journey where you maybe second guess yourself?
I mean, of course, you know, we go through ups and downs. That's a part of the journey. That's what makes the good times good.
Yeah.
You know, when you do second guess yourself and you got your homie or you or somebody boom went and posted you, or boom they're playing your stuff on the radio, and it's like, you know what, I gotta keep going.
Nah, definitely. So what was the first radio station, I guess, to pick up one of your records? And were you like driving on the road when it came out? Did your team already know it was about to hit the radio? Like, what was that feeling?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Shout out to Big Reef at Hot 97. He was the first person to play my song on the radio. So shout out to him.
That's a big milestone, because Hot 97, that's the top radio station up there, huh?
For sure. Shout out to Hot 97 for sure.
Yeah. So and then I saw you recently on the radar. How'd that come about?
came through, like I said, just moving around, and when you align and you're doing the right things, the doors will open. I was in LA for BET Week, went to do the media room, was a little behind, and I wasn't able to do it there, and then we just locked in and we connected when I came back home, and we did it. It was cool.
That's good. Was it nerve-wracking performing, or is kind of performing just like your element at this point in time?
Nah, man, I was prepared. I felt good.
Yeah.
Felt comfortable.
What's preparation like?
Preparation, just found a beat maybe about a week before, and just kind of like wrote it, put it together, and then just got there and had to do what I had to do. You know, it's a funny story behind that, but I actually had to film it twice.
Really?
Yeah, you know, ups and downs. You know, I don't want to get into it so much, but you know, people try to block my blessing, and then I had to film that twice. But they worked with me, and the communication was awesome when we got it done, and it was greater later. It was better the second time.
You said block your blessing. What you mean by that?
I mean, you know, everything don't go good in this business. You know that. So, you know, people try to just stop certain things, you know, but you can't stop what's yours.
No, definitely. How do you navigate through that? I know you're going to say spiritual and all that.
Nah, I ain't going to say that. I wasn't feeling that spiritual that time.
Yeah, but how do you, because I know it's probably frustrating, you know what I'm saying? It's probably frustrating when stuff like that happens. So how do you navigate that, like, mentally? How do you?
Nah, I mean, you honestly, when you realize and you come to terms that certain things you can't control, it kind of alleviates, you know, the stress. You can't bring yourself that stress. There's nothing that I could do about it.
Right.
So how we gonna navigate this? You're gonna talk to your people, like you said, the boardroom. How we gonna figure this out? And you make them calls, and everything go through. You gotta keep a cool head, you know, because at the end of the day, like, it's still business. Your name matters. Whatever you do matters forever. So it's like can't go Philly, can't go Queens on them, can't go Brooklyn on them. You just can't.
Yeah, sometimes we want to come out though, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, what you mean, man? Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, man, I had, 9/11, I had 9 Cartier bracelets. Those was not mine. Those somebody let me, like, you know, I did all of that. Man, I got about 200,000 on my motherfucking wrist, like, for this video. Like, I'm looking good. Like, I don't want to shoot this again. You know what I mean? So, you know, that hurt. Like, you know, it felt right that right time, but the second time was even better. So you got to trust the universe.
Nah, definitely. So are you currently independent? Are you signed?
I have a partnership. You feel me?
So what was your guys' approaches when it came to, like, I guess, a partnership or just getting signed to a label to, like, push you out a certain way? Because, you know, that's a big conversation in the industry, whether it be independent, whether to have somebody that's backing you fully, whatever it may be. Like, what was your thought process going to a deal when someone came and tried to sign you?
Well, honestly, everything happened after everything. It's like after I did that song with Sha Money, some people had saw me through there. They reached out to me through that record. But then, like, some people in my neighborhood had knew some people, and they just connected me, you know, with a big Pablo, and we just been locked in ever since. And I'm grateful for that.
That's solid. So you value relationships.
Relationships is everything.
You think they're worth more than, I guess,
money?
I'm not gonna say worth more than money, but, like, do you think
they might be?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a relationship could get you some money.
Yeah.
You could have some money and lose that money and not have no relationships. So it's like you could have a relationship and make some money just because of that.
No, you're right. You're right when it comes to that. So tell me a little bit about the tour you on. That you guys been road running on, doing your thing. How's it been so far?
I'm excited, man. Shorty, great artist. I don't even know if I can even talk about a lot of logistics that's going on, but breath of fresh air. You know, we moving around. Come out, see the show. It's lit.
Yeah, I wanted to know more so of just, like, not necessarily logistics of what's going on, but that feeling of going on tour, having that mindset. You've been working so hard, and now you get to go out and touch the people, see the people.
Yo, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. He's a phenomenal artist, great artist. Not too far from how I feel, you know, melodic but still raw. I don't even know what to say, honestly. I'm just grateful.
I mean, was he the first artist, I guess, that reached out to bring you on tours? Have there been opportunities in the past?
I feel like it got connected through, you know, his management. I'm really cool with his management, and you know, he fuck with me. He want me to win, so, you know, I'm on board. I'm grateful. This is the biggest artist I've been on tour with. So yeah, I mean, I've opened up for people, but this, you know, this is the biggest artist, and I'm happy.
so let me ask you this: when you're opening up for people, like this is your first tour, but you say you've opened up for people in the past. What's that feeling like? I guess when you have to work a stage when people don't really know who you are? Like, how does that feel when you stepping out there? It's like, all right, I'm trying to win these people over so I can get a couple new fans or whatever.
For sure. It's like the tour. I'm a breath of fresh air. It feels good. I can see the faces changing. Like, this is what I do. This is what I was born to do. I'm here to steal your heart. Like, bring your heart. That's it.
Nah, definitely.
And I'm gonna take it. I mean, that's it.
So tell me about your latest project that came out, Love Money Art, correct?
Yes, sir.
So tell me about the process to that. What it's been like, I guess, making it. What it's been like, just receiving it, that type of thing.
Love Money Art just came from the heart, you know. Got together with my team, put a couple of songs together. I was supposed to drop another project, had some issues with some clearances, so we had to pivot, and I'm happy with it. Like, threw Fergie Baby on the project. He's a real one. Shout out to Fergie Baby. He did the verse literally. I think he was going on vacation like 5 a.m. the next day, and then he did the song at 9 p.m. in the studio the night before. Shout out to Fergie. And honestly, I can't complain. I'm just seeing the growth. I'm seeing the different people, you know, just making non-believers into believers.
Nah, definitely. What's your favorite? I guess it's probably hard to pick a favorite record on the project.
I have a favorite.
All right, what's your favorite?
My Heart, My Homie.
Why is it?
That was the last record that I recorded. It just came from the heart. Was just going through some things, and it's too raw, too personal.
Is that I don't say is that a good thing, but like you say it's too raw, too personal. Do you like making more personal records as opposed?
I mean, I love it because when I hear it back, I can feel what I was feeling. So that makes it's just a different connection. Is it hard to listen back to records like that though? Does it take you back to a time where it's like you don't want to be at? Yeah, it does. But you got to take the good and with the bad. Yeah, you got to find that balance, you know. Nah, that's good. So I'm okay with it. Nah, yeah, for sure. So I got a question for you. We had a big debate on our pod, on our show a few days ago about like a New York Mount Rushmore. So I want to get your opinion on like it doesn't have to be like the political side, but I want to know who your New York Mount Rushmore is and who your favorite artists are that came up out the city. Like current? It could be anytime. Just like artists that you really rock with. From New York? From New York. Yo, who's from New York, man? I mean, of course, like I said, Nicki, 50, Fab. I love Lloyd Banks. Who's from New York, man? Of course, we all love Dipset. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. I love New York, but am I listening to New York artists every day? I don't think. I mean, of course, we got the 5Es. I love Fergie Baby for the newer vibes, but So who do you listen to then? If I go to my playlist right now, I'm listening to No Cap. Okay. I'm listening to Kevin Gates. I'm listening to Doja. I'm listening or Jeremy from London. Like, yeah, my playlist is a little all over. Is that because you just like resonate with that music more? Or what? I think so. Just resonate with it a little bit more. So what can we expect from you like in the future? I mean, like I said, you got style and all that type of stuff. Can we expect you to drop your own brand, your own clothing? Like, do you have aspirations to go down that route? I mean, yeah, I'm a big fashion girl, so you know, I'm gonna be modeling. I'm calm today too. So you see me on the spin back. You see me on the spin back. So what's the day to day like when you put your lay together? Like, how do you I guess process it when you about to step out the house? This is what I'm gonna rock. Like, I'm gonna look better than everybody else. I'm kind of busy, so I be pre-planning a lot now. Yeah. That's all I got. I know there's more thought that goes into that. No, I don't know. I just go shopping and just pre-plan. I don't know. I'm busy. I'm outside, and when you get good pieces, you can always alternate. Like, just stay busy, stay fly, stay busy. Let me ask you this. So you brought up pieces and stuff like that. So do you think that designer clothes make the person when it comes to fashion, or do you think just putting the right pieces together makes somebody stylish? No, I know some very fashionable people that can go thrifting. I think that's an art form. Yeah. I might not be the best at it, but I know some people that look flyer than a mother effer. Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. So as we start to wind down a little bit, I'm a little vain, you know. I grew up in an immigrant household, you know. We didn't grow up rich or nothing, so you know, I cover my insecurities with my vain shopping sometimes. So does that make you want to like kind of floss a little bit? Of course, man. Yeah. You know, I still got to work through that. Yeah. But yeah, that's not something you deal with on a day to day. No, I'm calm now, but I'm just saying, you know, I feel like internally it's still like rooted in me, like, like what Kanye said, just to be like, you ain't on this.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, so what can we expect from you in the future? I mean,
a lot more gas, a lot more music, a lot more art, a lot more modeling, a lot more good conversation, a lot more growth. Just a lot.
So can we expect like a new project come out? You drop
Of course.
something in March?
New project, new video. Kill Switch video is gonna come out. We just shot the Kill Switch video. It's on the project, the Love Money Art. Definitely some visualizers are coming out. Definitely a new project coming out. Definitely some singles coming out. Yeah, it's just gonna be a whole lot of.
Do you take a lot of creative direction in your music videos?
I'm open to things. How we gonna be great?
For sure. But I mean, like when you come.
Nah, I'm not serious. I'm just open to it. Like, cool. Like, yo, if you have an idea and I find it dope, I'ma listen. If I don't like it, I'ma listen and not do it. But I'ma still listen.
Yeah.
Why not?
I feel that. So before we close out, let everybody know where we can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at Poiison911. Poiison with 2 eyes. You find me on Instagram. You can find me everywhere. Like,
and all your music streaming everywhere.
Yeah, all DSPs. Thank you. Shout out to all the DSPs. You know, it's been a lot of playlisting, a lot of stuff going on. I'm very, very grateful to my people in those offices. Thank you for receiving and just rocking with me. I'm feeling good.
100%. Well, I appreciate you pulling up.
Nah, thank you for having me.
This was a great conversation.
I appreciate it.
This is all I got for this new episode of the Faces of the Future podcast.
Yes,
it's your boy Myles. I'll holler at you later. Peace.
Poiison with 2 eyes.
Oh my God, is that the Faces of the Future?